Hi, welcome to Consciously Healthy. She's Claire.
Oh, she's Laura. The two Ronnies did that, didn't they?
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's goodbye from her.
But we haven't said anything yet, so it's not goodbye
Okay,
yet.
no, hello from her.
Hello.
What are we talking about today?
We are talking about spending time alone. And I have just got back from our marvellous adventure. Marvellous. And I took 7 weeks out of my life, which felt like quite a lot. I didn't even have that for maternity leave. And I went away. I spent 4 weeks in Australia and I spent 2 weeks in India, and it was absolutely luscious. And then I had a week here. And 4 weeks of that was away from my normal life. And I kind of wondered if it was a running away from, and there was an element of that. I had a really bad year in 2015. I was like, I just need to space to process this. But actually it felt more like a running towards an opportunity to spend time alone with myself and reconnect to myself, because it had just been so busy. I just had lost all of that and this feeling of just wanting to get away. And actually, I've had that feeling 3 times in my life that I needed to get away. And the first was after a really bad breakup, and I was quite young, and I don't think my parents really wanted to send me away, and they'd have had to pay for it. And, you know, it wasn't that I was in a position to kind of make it happen for myself. And the other time was when I had really bad postnatal depression, and there was no way I could go away. I mean, financially, for a start, but from a place of responsibility, I had a very, very small new child. And also, emotionally, it would not have been a good time for me to go away, like, for a period of time, because I really needed the support around me. And so when I kind of felt this, I just need to get away feeling. And I knew it wasn't a holiday. It wasn't like a holiday will cut it. It needed to be more. It was the first time in my life where I went, actually, I can do this. You know, my daughter's supported and at school and fine. My husband's big enough and old enough to look after himself. And actually our business had changed enough that there was enough support with our team of administrators and stuff to make that happen. And so off I went. And it was absolutely phenomenal. And then you spent some time alone, didn't you?
Yeah, it's...
Not just because I wasn't here.
No, I've also had an interesting 2015. And I was finding myself in a place of being on the treadmill, working incredibly hard, lots and lots of change going on, and there was no opportunity for me to just let it be, let it land. And I mean, this is a big thing that I really have to watch with myself, is that I can go through the motions and it will land like a month later, and then I feel it, and then it comes for like a wave. And so if I don't give myself space to be by myself, to let things process, then it usually bites me on the bum a little while later. And I used to hate spending time alone because I didn't like myself very much. So it used to be a very big mirror in terms of, it's like sitting with your worst enemy. I was just so mean to myself. And over the years, with all the sort of self-esteem work that I've done, I get on quite well. We have quite a good time in my head. And on this retreat, because I've been so busy, when I first landed on my yoga mat and sat in meditation, and we did about 3 hours of meditation a day, and that first day, my head was all over the place. I was literally like, we talk about it being like a monkey mind. It was over there and it was over here, and think about this and what about dinner and and just it wouldn't settle. And it was like a really sort of overexcited puppy child kind of feeling. But after, I think it was 2 or 3 days into the retreat, and I could feel myself just start to slow down, and to be able to really, really listen. And we talk about this in our Reclaim Your Life program, is that we have these two voices. We have the ego voice, this monkey mind that is telling us all this kind of stuff, and it's either in the past or it's thinking about the future, and it's
fear-based, or
it's really emotional, and it's never really sort of in the moment. And then we've got our soul voice, which is our deep intuition, our deep knowing. And so when we have the opportunity to spend time by ourselves, in stillness, alone, with our thoughts and our emotions, and just being in the moment, it's such a glorious opportunity. Things come up, like emotions come up, and also a stillness, a calmness. It's like a deep relaxation. That was my experience of this retreat, was to actually turn off, tune out, and come home.
That was kind of my experience as well, because I mean, I was very fortunate to be able to stay with a friend, and so I was kind of living my life as if it was normal, but just on the other side of the world, and going to the gym, and I hired a car, so I was bobbing about, going to the supermarket. But there was just this element of, it was just like same but different, and it was the first time since I was 16 that I didn't have anything in my diary, and it was so liberating just to wake up in the morning and go, what do I want to do today? What does my body want to do today? What does my mind want to do today? And I actually put myself through a little bit of self-development boot camp. I actually had quite a lot of sort of workbooks and amazing inspirational books that I was reading that really helped me to sort of drop and change my perspective. And it's just honestly been one of the most illuminating things, like just not being on holiday, but actually immersing myself in myself for a period of time. And, just a day spent in walking meditation in the mountains. Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And, it's not always possible. What I did was pretty extreme, and, I don't know if I'd ever be able to have the opportunity to do it again. I'd like to think so, but I don't know. But we're kind of saying that actually any time that you can spend alone, if you do it with real consciousness, it's really important. Because actually it's the learning for us that we'd been so busy with work and changes last year that we just hadn't allowed ourselves any time or space factored in for that kind of aloneness. So even just an hour spent in meditation or just pottering around, there just wasn't any space at all, was there? So just even finding yourself an overnight, a bit of meditation, even if it's just 5, 10, 20 minutes a day, doesn't matter, but real carved out space for you where you can tune in.
I meet a lot of women in my clinic who, hats off to them, who run businesses, who have full-time jobs, who have young children, who have incredibly busy lives, and say, there is no opportunity to let this happen. And it's like we as women, we can put everything before ourselves, and we're kind of at the bottom. And we use the analogy of when you're on a plane and you get the oxygen mask that come down. You need to put it on yourself first before you put it on your child. You need to look after yourself. It's so important, because if you don't give yourself time in your life to be with yourself and to nurture yourself, you will burn out.
Yeah.
And so, there's little ways that you can bring time into your life for just yourself. I know that when I first started doing it, I tried to do it by myself, and I didn't have the willpower or the structure to be able to do it. So I actually sought out a meditation class or a yoga class where I knew for an hour that that was on my to-do list. There's something nice about it being on my to-do list. I could go to that, and there was nothing else for me to do. That I just had to go and be with myself for that hour, and to let whatever came up come up. And we've done lots of different sort of workshops and different retreats. So there is, maybe building it into your diary as something, okay, this is time for me to be able to drop into what is going on.
And even if, it doesn't have to be expensive. Like when I was away, I found this incredible little Buddhist monastery, and they offered free meditation each day. You could do it on a donation basis, and they also offered retreats. But if you can't go on retreat, then even if you can just find somewhere locally that offers meditation, and the class doesn't even have to be expensive, and a lot of places offer it for free, and there are so many sources online. And I've got clients who swear by the Headspace app, absolutely swear by it, 10 minutes of incredible guided meditation. That in itself is enough to start changing the whole way that your life works.
And when you haven't got anything to do, and you allow yourself to be with the stillness of yourself and the craziness that might be going on in your head, it's like the body goes, okay, now is the time. And then suddenly you'll start to feel, maybe some stuff coming up from the past, or maybe a deep grief that you haven't spent more time with yourself, or anger's coming through, or whatever. And when that emotion comes through, it's so cleansing. I think that spending time alone is as cleansing as, say, we talked about juice fasts, or a detox, or a liver cleanse, or whatever.
I've got a client where she's got quite a few children, and they actually have like a little thing that they hang on their door. What do you call it? Like a door hanger. And it says, it's like a do not disturb door hanger, but they've made it themselves, and it says alone time. And so like anyone can take this at any time and just say alone time. So the mum's also allowed to do this, and so it can be like the kids are playing and all okay and safe, and hers aren't, like tiny little toddlers. She can say, I'm going for alone time now, and unless it's really urgent and someone's hurt themselves, no one knocks on the door. So she gets like this hour. And what's so beautiful about that, I love it, because then apparently her girls have also started now to kind of go, I just need some alone time, mummy. And like, because two of her girls share a room, and so then they get alone time in their room. And it's like they're really embedding this culture that it's okay to be by yourself, that you don't always need other people fussing around you, and also actually allowing people to make boundaries and go, this is my alone time, I love it.
Oh, that's a great suggestion.
Yeah, maybe we should get a door hanger. I'm in alone time.
I'm up for it, let's do it. Right, so that's us. That is spending time alone. If you like listening to our ramblings, then check out and subscribe here. We also have our Facebook page, which is balancedwellness.uk. So yeah, come and hang out and ask us any questions. If you ask us questions, then we tend to podcast about it.
Excuse me.
On that note, bye for now.
Bye.